Hello, everyone, and welcome
And
to
we're like,
the opening of the Hack the Loop Hackathon sponsored by Agile Loop. Today, we're going to just give me 1 second. Ahat, can you please mute yourself? Thank you very much. That's perfect. So today we opened the Hack the Loop Hackathon, and the sponsors of this event are going to also speak right after I introduce the event schedule. So let's move forward to the very, let's say, like basic introduction of ours. I'm going to be your host today. Basically, I'm going to explain you what's the challenge, how do you submit your project, what the prizes you might get, what are the deadlines, and just basic rules how you handle the competition by the end of this hack. This is a special hack because it's going to be for actually 2 weeks, and you have a plenty of time to actually come up with great, cool, inspirational ideas for your projects. And Agile Loop is obviously going to be your friend number one in making your projects true. So let's have a look at the schedule. As I mentioned before, for 2 weeks, you're going to build your apps, your projects. You're going to engage with the hackathon challenge and make sure that your projects are cool. So we will have opening course from Ahad today from the Agile Loop. Then on next Monday, we're going to have general Q&A session on Discord. You will find this Q&A details on the Discord channel. Then a week later, there are going to be again the Q&A session on the Discord, and by July 1st, you will have to submit your projects. So as easy as that, let's move forward to Lablab AI, to our introduction. This is for, let's say, newbies, for those who are new with us. And what is Lablab? So basically, Lablab is a huge ecosystem for startuppers, for innovators, for the AI builders, and for people who are providing actually these possibilities, right? Because they're providing technology, they're providing LLMs, they're providing the sponsorships. So this is the place where you guys can meet cool people, right? You network, you meet potential acceleration possibilities. You meet influential people from the technology. You basically like have this opportunity to build something cool, to place it on the platform, and to be seen, so that your project is going to bring something, right? So Lablab is your way to go. On Lablab, you're going to create your project, you're going to submit your project, and after the event, you will have your portfolio on our system. So everything what you're building is going to be stored there. So you will always get the recognition from Lablab even after the end of the hackathon. So with that being said, we have Ahad today in the room, and he's going to say some sweet words from Agile Loop. So I'm passing the mic to you, Ahad. And yeah, just tell us what do you wish for participants and for the rest.
Thank you, Katya, and welcome everyone to Hack the Loop. This is our obviously first hackathon, and the reason why we're hosting it is very important. So the reason why I wanted to have and join this kickoff meeting was also because before you guys deep dive into ideas, and it's very important for you to know why we're doing this hackathon. What's the purpose? What's the are we going to focus on LLMs? What should participants consider based off of increasing their chances to win the hackathon, and so on and so forth. So I'll tell you guys a bit about the generative AI landscape. Agile Loop has been secretly developing some models for quite some time now. And these models were more focused on action as a modality. So as you know, that language models, LLMs, LVMs, you've got vision models now. You've got text models that are trained on text and images, audio, but we don't have action as a modality at this point in time. Why is action really important as a data type? The reason it's important is because AI agents, or let's say the AI agents we're referring to these days, are not capable of doing task actions primarily because they're only trained on text and images, right? So if unless and until you either fine tune or pre-train these models on action as a parameter, you're not going to achieve the agentic nature that comes from these models. And then secondly, all these developers that are listening to me right now, you might also know of the fact that the agentic nature in a model comes from how well your decomposer is, right? So within your code bases, when you're calling different LLMs, it's very, very important to consider on your decomposition of the task. So whatever prompt you're entering, how is the LLM decomposing it? So as you all know that you're going to be using Synapse, our open source repository that we open sourced just recently, and we want you all to try it out. We want this open source repository to help you guys build AI agents and more like ready AI agents. So I would say it's very different from AutoGPT and those pipelines, because AutoGPT it cannot be integrated within SaaS APIs. So this entire open source repo you guys have is very easy to clone. And then what you're going to focus on as phase one is to change the LLM from OpenAI to any other open source LLM you can use on your local PC. So that can be Llama, that can be some SLMs, small language models. That are many out there right now, including Mistral, including different small language models. It's really entirely up to you how you want to change the LLM. So changing the LLM from OpenAI to any other open source LLM is really important. Also, you don't you don't just need to change the LLM. You can also fine tune a base model. Let's say you fine tuned a Llama, and then you use that model instead of OpenAI. So it's entirely up to you. But the first step is to change the LLM and make sure you've got the decomposer right. We do have a decomposer as part of this Synapse repo already, but make sure that you guys, are decomposing the prompt correctly, because that's where your model's ability to perform a task across any software API, it will depend on how well your prompt is decomposed. So keep that in mind. It's one of the winning criteria as well. In terms of overall policies and code ownership, all code should be written for the purpose of the hackathon. You need to respect open source licenses that are there. Testing and validation, meaning once you integrate these models with the SaaS public APIs. So let's suppose this open source repo Synapse is already trained on Salesforce and two other softwares, right? What you could do is you can add on Notion, you can add on HubSpot, you can add on different SaaS platforms who have their APIs publicly available, right? And then you keep enriching this open source repo with more and more softwares as part of it. And this is what the overall goal is. So first phase is to change the LLM. Second phase is to integrate the right SaaS platform APIs. Now, that entirely depends on your business case. So do keep in mind that the business case should be very straightforward. Now, I'll give you an example of how I would think, right? I would, let's say I would start with a business case, and a business case could be invoicing over Zoho. Now, a lot of the companies use Zoho for generating invoices, right? That's your business case. How do you tweak Synapse's open source repo and then cater this business case? You're going to see the structure, the workflow of how humans create an invoice on Zoho. And then you're going to integrate Zoho with this open source repo Synapse. And you're going to make sure you can sort of do a test run of, let's say, create an invoice for Agile Loop, for X amount of items that cost X amount of dollars. That's your prompt. You enter, it should automatically populate the data on the invoicing module on Zoho, right? This is your entire end-to-end workflow that you could do. This is just an idea to give you guys more content and so that you have more direction. I hope everyone's already looked at the open source repo. I'm not going to take too much time. We will be sending out a lot of documentation on the hackathon right after this kickoff meeting. So please do go through that. You will find all answers to all your questions over there. If you cannot, you can always come to me and ask me. I'm available. And also the reason why we gave 2 weeks and not 24 hours or 48 hours for the hackathon is because you need to keep in mind there's four most important aspects to sort of consider before you submit, right? And that's why we've given you a very long time frame. One is the UI UX. So of course, whatever interface you make that you want to connect your models on, you need to make the interface yourself. So that's part of the hackathon. It's one of the really important aspects, I would say. So do focus on the UI UX a lot. Second comes towards the business case. So why did you pick this software or SaaS platform? And then what workflows and business case are you kind of automating, right? So that is also a very important factor. And then thirdly comes your decomposition. So how well was your prompt decomposed when you enter a prompt, right? So this is the overall, I would say, just to sum up, some things to keep in mind for you. And yeah, for any other support, I'm always here. I'm available. You can reach out to me on Discord or Katya, and I shall be here till the 19th to help you guys in any questions you have. So you don't have to wait till the 19th. You can just message us before. There's 5 representatives from Agile Loop, 5 mentors who will be helping you guys. And besides them, our research team is also going to be few of the mentors, which means you will get the chance to speak to and schedule private sessions with ex-Google DeepMind lead scientists, right? So we've got 3 of them on our team. These scientists spent 7 years in Google DeepMind. They know everything that's been going on since the last 7 years in this landscape. For all those data scientists, AI engineers who are interested in speaking to such mentors regarding the hackathon or even outside of the hackathon, you have the Calendly link. You can always schedule a session until the 19th. And yep, speak away with the mentors. Ask as many questions as possible so you guys do a good job. I think that should be it, Katya.
Thank you very much, Ahad. While you were doing this introduction, there have been coming some questions from the audience. If you have, let's say, 5 spare minutes, let's maybe quickly answer them,
Yep,
okay? So
for
let me
sure.
just read for you. So firstly, I want to know, is there a theme where I need to automate the workflow? Was it answered?
Is there a theme? Can you repeat the question?
I want to know, is there a theme where I need to automate the workflow?
No, there's no specific theme. You can automate any business workflow that you know of. So keep in mind that most business workflows are the ones that we are finding relevant to this hackathon are the business workflows on software platforms, right? So a business workflow could be on Salesforce. Yep. So your sales team, every time they speak to someone, every time they speak to a new prospect, they go through a standard workflow on Salesforce, right? So that's how you identify workflows, and there's no specific theme as per se, but the way to identify workflows is to see what businesses are using these softwares for. So what do businesses use Salesforce for? What do businesses use QuickBooks for? And each workflow, which would be one business process on these SaaS platforms, right? So on QuickBooks, I'm sure you guys can think of 100 different workflows. On Zoho, same, right? On Salesforce, again, 100 different workflows that are possible. So one workflow is just one task you would complete on a given SaaS platform. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Then there was also a question of, I don't even know how it's better. Maybe it's better to do it during Q&A, you know? Yeah, I think it's better to do during Q&A. We will have Q&A as well. So the only one question that I wanted to ask is, if I make a website for the UI, how will I link the website with Lablab? I think it's a
You
question
don't
more
need
for
to. You don't need to make. You don't need to make us. You don't need to link the website. So let's say you build a UI. You can just have it as a local host, a URL on deployed on your local host or local PC. So you don't need to uh, migrate the UI to a cloud or link it with Lablab. I think that will not be necessary, as you will be just recording a demo video as well as a live demo if the recorded demo moves towards the next step. So that the maximum you'll be required to do is share your screen and do a live demo through your local host. So when you're making a UI, just deploy the URL on your local PC and that should be good enough.
Thank you very much, Ahad. I have one more. There is a persistent question of, can you give an example of workflow?
Yeah, I did give one example, but I'll give you, there's a few examples on the open source repository as well. You can go through it, but I'll give you one example of a workflow on, I can just repeat the last example actually I gave on Salesforce, or perhaps in Q&As, I can prepare like different videos of workflows, like sample workflows, screen recordings that should make it more easier for you guys. But let's say maybe people have here used Trello, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm,
Like a board, and you can just, can you hear me? Yep. Can you guys hear me?
yes.
Okay. So imagine one workflow on Trello would be that you go and create a new board, a new card, and you name that card a certain task and you assign it to Ahad. Yep. This is one entire workflow on Trello. Correct? I do this every day and I use my agent today every day for it also. So if if I want to go and I just thought of a task and I need to delegate it to my team. So the first thing I do is I go on Trello and I make a board, I name it, I give the card a task, and then I assign it to my team member. This is a workflow I do every single day on Trello. Yep. So that's one workflow that you can automate on Trello. Using Trello's APIs, you can actually, and using open source repo of Synapse, you can automate the process of, or the workflow of creating a new card on a new board on Trello and assigning it to a team member. This is one workflow. And that's how you choose a workflow. So I will be giving more and more examples through screen recorded videos of different workflows, just to make sure you guys are clear. But you decide what the workflow is. So this is a workflow I came up with in my head. And the way you can come up with workflows on your head is by thinking what you can do on different software platforms, right? If I can even on Discord, let's say a workflow on Discord would be adding a member to an existing channel. Yep, I'm sure you guys do that all the time. So imagine you want to just automate that process where you can just prompt Synapse agent and then you go like, you know, this is the email I want to add on this Discord channel of mine. And then you enter, it should be able to automate that workflow. So these are just two examples of workflows I gave right now, but you'll have many, many more examples. And plus, if you guys ever want to get some feedback on the workflows you've decided, you can always reach out to me or any of the Agile Loop mentors, and we can give you open feedback regarding any workflow you've decided for the hackathon. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We are not answering any more questions. We're a little bit time constrained. So let's move forward to the presentation. Max, can we please make sure that the presentation is on? Yep. So yeah, let's go to the challenge, okay? So speaking of challenge, uh, basically, that's a good question that you need to really understand in order to be qualified, right? So you need to build a product that enhances workflow automation, capable of handling tasks from basic operations to complex queries. Basically, you're using the Agile Loop's open source action models. And please, for more guidance, check out Hack the Loop challenge tips in the Hackathon challenge section. So on the event page, you will find this Hack the Loop challenge tips, like useful tips that we prepared for you. You will find a lot of info there. Also, we have prepared for you tutorial. And this tutorial is identified as a beginner tutorial because really good explained. Like you will find all the necessary info there. The tutorial is also placed in our tab AI tutorials on the Lablab. And it's called Streamline Your Trello Workflow with Synapse Copilot. So please get acknowledged. And if you have any questions, remember that we will have Q&A on Discord. So please prepare all your questions over there. But I will tell you that you can always ask your mentors about anything that you need help with. And please be active on the channel. You will find the answers there. Moving forward, success
Can
criteria
I
is really
add one thing,
sure.
Katya? Just one
Sure.
thing. So there will be a session on the 19th after the Q&A where any of you can join. Our solution architect, who has built this repo, will actually show you a live demonstration of how to clone the repo and then change the LLM and add more and more softwares to it. So that live process, the tutorial that Katya is talking about is already uploaded, but you will also have a chance to look at it as a live demonstration.
Hmm. Okay, so forward to the success criteria. Success criteria is basically how your project is going to get some recognition. So please use Agile Loop technology effectively in your project. Presentation is the key because this is how you're going to be picked. Like this is your, I don't know, like your card, right? Like without good presentation, sharp and clear, probably your project is, well, very difficult to be noticed. Business value is usually there are so many projects out there, there are so many startup ideas, only few are getting recognition because of the value that they are bringing. It's important to keep that in mind. Originality, be unique, creative, and applicable. This is my own advice. Moving forward to the hackathon prizes. So we have two places here. And there, the first place got 15K cash, cloud credits, 10K GSP credits, and eligible for a full-time position at Agile Loop. The second runner-up is getting 5K cash and cloud credits, 2,500 GSP credits. Pretty sweet prizes. So again, like all these success criteria, it's a tough competition. It's a long hackathon, 2 weeks. So please keep in mind, these are going to be the most important factors influencing your success in getting the prizes. Moving forward, mentor leads, these are your angels, which are going to help you during the hack, but don't spam them. They need to help also others. So please join the channel. I need help and ask questions on the channel of the hackathon. But ultimately, yeah, these are the people that are going to support you during the hack. Now I'm going to give you the platform walkthrough, and also I will give you the introduction of Discord, like how you're going to find everything on the Discord. So hackathon guide. What's important here? Like, as I mentioned before, all game is happening on the Lablab AI. You need to create or join the team on Lablab AI. You need to meet your team on Discord, and you need to come up with the concept of your project. It's either that you have it already or you're doing the new one. But this is like your team needs to be on Discord. This is where your mentor will also later join you to help you with the realization of your project. So then you are communicating with your mentors, then you're building the prototype, right? You have plenty of time for building really cool projects and building the efficient workflows. So this is the most fun for you, right? And then you're submitting your solutions also via Lablab AI. Everything is very intuitive and easygoing on the Lablab. So I'm pretty sure that you will be able to submit the project. What's important here is to actually meet the deadline, and you will also have 2 Q&A sessions, so should be plenty of time for you to ask your questions. Also, as I mentioned before, like fill out your profile. Lablab will bring a lot of useful connections into your life, and you will meet a lot of cool people, talented people, business minds, tech people, marketing, everyone really. Like make sure that your profile is representable. As I mentioned before, you're either creating your own team or you're joining the existent one. So you're doing it also on the platform, but then you're talking to your mates on Discord channel, Discord group that you're creating. This is just an example of how the team might be looking in. Let's move to the next slide. Yes, to this one. Then moving forward, you have to make sure that your Discord is connected on the Lablab AI, because this is how we're doing the communication further on. So make sure it's connected. Make sure that you're creating a voice channel on Lablab Discord server if you have 2 and more members in the team. Moving forward, this is how you're communicating with mentors. So you have I need help channel. You will find it on Discord. It's super visible. And then you're also tagging mentor. So as I mentioned before, all the help is coming from mentors, and also I need help channel. So these are the useful screenshots. I need help channel, and also the channel of this hack, Agile Loop Hackathon. So you'll find everything over there. And presentation. It is a tough competition for this hack with prizes. A lot of teams will be, and a huge, let's say, like time frame for creating your product. So make sure that the product demo is uploaded, the presentation is sharp and clear and to the point. You have a very solid project description, the catchy one. You have demo and GitHub links working. Everything must be working there. And these are the most important things for you in order to submit your project. Then you're also uploading the video of your submission through the Lablab AI team page. And your video should be no longer than 5 minutes. Again, I can imagine how many projects there are going to be for this hack. It's so long one and such sweet prizes. So no more than 5 minutes, please, guys. And again, if you need any additional help, you know where to go. Mentors, Agile Loop Hackathon channel, and I need help channel. And with that being said, I think we're done in terms of introduction. So guys, I wish you good luck into creating your next project. Please follow all these guidelines, ask mentors, build a way, have fun, and yeah, just come up with the new concepts, new projects, and I wish you a lot of luck. So I think we can close, and we have some questions on the chat, right? So please, all these questions, ask them on the Discord channel. I think Ahad might stay a little bit on the Discord, also respond some technical questions about the technology. Otherwise, if it's okay for you, Ahad, yeah? If it's not, yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. And if it's related to like hackathon questions, then tag mentors and they will provide you this support. So I think we can close. Yeah, that was a pretty sweet opening. Wishing good luck to everyone. See ya, guys.